couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this down in here. This is nice and hot. The pan is nice and hot. Putting it seasoned side down. And then I'm gonna season the top of this. So you don't have to let this chicken cook all the way. And you guys know if you're cooking with chicken breast will get really tough really fast. So we're just going to cook this up just a little bit because it's going to finish cooking in the soup. So I'm just going to season the other side. I'm going to need to buy some more ground cumin. So that was ground cumin. This is onion powder. As always, I'll have the full recipe in the description bar. This is a little bit of Italian seasoning. This is oregano. And this is some parsley, pretty much for color, but we're going to throw it on the chicken as well. Some black pepper. And this is optional, cayenne. Definitely optional, but we like a little heat over here. Sometimes we like a lot of heat over here, so I need to dice up my onion right there. This is a medium yellow onion. And then we have some tomatoes. We also have some minced garlic. We got some lime that we're going to put on the end of the dish once it's done. A little bit of celery, not a lot because we don't want this to be too salty. Alright guys, so I'm going to come back once I let this cook. I'm going to go ahead and chop up my onion. So the chicken is browning. We're going to go ahead and cut my onion. I already rinsed this off. Again, just to recap what we have in this pan right here is 4 skinless chicken thighs. Still got the bone in there. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's got nice color. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. It has a nice color, very nice color on the chicken thighs. So that's another thing. Once you put them in, you don't want to bother them. I'm going to show you guys what that color is looking like. So once you get that in there, you just want it to hang out and sit in there. And this is the chicken breast. It's a nice thick one too. And once this gets like some color on there, I'm going to let this go for maybe about 10 more minutes. And then I'm going to take it out, and while it's cooling down a little bit, I'm going to put the veggies in the pan. We're going to saute the veggies in the pan. But we're going to let that cook for probably like another 10 minutes or so. What we're going to do next is I'm going to take the chicken out. Now, again, this is not done, but we let it cook just enough to get it started. And then we're going to actually use those pan drippings that we have in the pan that's left to saute our veggies. So while chicken is cooling off, we're going to saute the veggies, which in this case is a medium onion. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there, and I might need a little bit more of olive. I might need a little bit more olive oil, so we'll see. Smells good. This is going to get a nice color, so we're just going to mix that around. I'm going to let that cook for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to add in some garlic. So about a ½ tablespoon of garlic right in the pot. Alright, so we don't want this to burn. You definitely do not want your garlic to burn, because once you burn your garlic, your dish is ruined. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to let the garlic and the onion just cook for a couple more minutes. Let it hang out. And then we're going to start finally assembling this chicken tortilla soup. I'm excited. So while that's going, I'm going to show you guys. This is maybe about 1/4 cup of the chicken stock that I have here. I am using cornstarch for my thickening agent. So I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch And really, you're not gonna know how thick this is until this whole mixture comes to a boil. So chicken stock. This is 4 cups. And we're gonna use the whole thing. You can also use chicken broth if you have it. But if you have chicken stock, I recommend chicken stock because chicken stock is going to give you, any type of stock actually, will give you a better flavor. The next thing I'm going to do is add my tomatoes in. It's a can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to add that into the pot. Give it a little stir around. That's going to give it that nice color that you are familiar with when you eat chicken tortilla soup. It's a nice red color that comes from the tomatoes. You definitely can use fresh tomatoes as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some seasonings here because I'm going to put the top on and let this come to a slight boil. I am not good with measuring, but I will put measurements in the description with the recipe. But I'm going to just use the rest of this cumin because it's gone. So I got to buy some more of that. That's it. The cumin is gone. This is my cayenne. Again, that's optional. I actually was at Target when I was getting, this is some Lowry's, just a little bit. When I was at Target, I was looking for, I think it's pronounced the Anaheim pepper, but they didn't have any fresh peppers in Target. And I didn't want to make another stop. So this is oregano, and that was onion powder. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of the Italian seasoning. Gonna stir this up. I'm gonna put the top on this and let this come to a boil while I'm cooking. Oh, let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and put that cornstarch in there. 2 tables of cornstarch. I'm gonna put that in there. Stir it up. Put the top on there and let that come to a boil. Alright guys, so we're gonna check in on our soup base. It's smelling really good. Really good. I'm going to taste it in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to taste it right now before I put the meat in because the meat, remember, that's not all the way done. The chicken is not all the way done. Just going to do a little taste test. Okay. I can definitely... Oh, Lord. The heat is definitely there. So we got enough cayenne there. The chicken thighs in, and then I will cut up the chicken breast. All right, so I just chunked that up. I left the bones in for now to get some flavor out of those bones. And I'm thinking I'm gonna add in the lime juice. And that lime juice is going to give it a nice flavor. And it's also going to tenderize. It's going to help to tenderize the meat as well. So the chicken thighs are in there. Alright, so this is the lime juice. I'm not going to put the whole thing in there yet. That's some lime juice. And this is going to get thicker. Because remember, we put that cornstarch in there. So I brought Mexican style cheese. You can use cheddar cheese, mild cheddar, medium cheddar. And I'm actually going to put that whole bag in there to top this off with. So I'm just going to mix it all in. You want that cheese to melt. I will say with this recipe, if you have cheese on the block, you know, I would recommend that you use that. But if you don't, you can definitely use shredded cheese from the bag just like I just did. But if you can shred it from the block, they say that's always better and it melts better. I found this taco packet that I'm gonna throw in there. You could use regular taco seasoning as well, of course. But I'm gonna put this in there because I feel like this needs a little bit more flavor for my liking. Alright, so now I'm gonna add in the chicken breast, because this is gonna be done probably in 15 more minutes. And then I'm gonna get that seasoning that was on the board. And guys, this will freeze really well. So you can definitely freeze this. And actually that's what I plan to do, freeze some of this. So you guys know with cooking, you have to cook to your taste buds. So I'm just doing half of that. Half of that. This is getting really nice and thick. Really nice and thick. Starting to look like what it's supposed to look like over here. So this is nice and thick, guys. See what it's tasting like? Oh yeah. There it is. There it is. Alright guys, so I have the soup on the stove. It's coming along. It tastes really good. So this is the oil. This is canola oil. We're going to see how hot this is because we're going to make our shredded tortillas for the top of our soup. So this is at about 380, which is good. Turn it down just a little bit. So I showed you guys the tortillas that I brought. These are corn tortillas, white corn tortillas. Just going to take a couple of these and fry them up. Of course, you can buy them already ready to go, but I'm just going to use half of this. But why not? We're making this soup at home, so we might as well go ahead and make our shredded tortillas right along with it. Then this recipe really becomes one that you totally made completely homemade. That's what they look like. So I'm going to do half at a time. Okay, so you want to make sure that you hit this with some salt immediately after it comes out. And this is how, look how easy it is to make your own tortillas at home. This is how easy it is, guys. This is super easy. I mean, I love a good tortilla from the store, but you definitely can make these at home. The tortilla soup is done. We're gonna go ahead and plate this up. Guys, it came out yummy. All right, so we got our toppings. This is the consistency of the soup. Got our nice chunks of chicken in there. Got a couple more, because this is my dinner. I am going to eat this right now. All right, so now we're going to add in, I have some sour cream, and I have some more cheese as if we didn't have enough in there. And as if we didn't have enough heat, I have some jalapenos. So we're just gonna add those in, and you can add whatever you like to your soup, right? And you guys saw how I did that. I went by a recipe, but then you tweak it and it becomes your own recipe when you add other ingredients in. So I'm gonna add that cheese on top. A little bit more shredded cheese on top. We're gonna add our homemade tortilla strips, and there you have it. Let's put a little bit of sour cream right in the middle. Right in the middle. A little parsley for color. a little parsley for color. And there it is, homemade chicken tortilla soup. All right, I'm going in for the first bite. That's good. And it has the kick from the cayenne. And then I added a little bit of jalapeno. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish my dinner. I'll see you guys next time.